All right, DC fans, here we go. Another day, another casting rumor concerning the Batman, the Caped Crusader in James Gunn's DCU. Who's it going to be? Do we have a clue? Has James Gunn tipped his hat at all? Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and a fan of the DCU, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you guys all the time right here on the channel. I also talk about Matt Reeves, the Batman, but we know we're getting a new Batman, an all-new Batman in the DCU. Now, some people still believe that Pattinson could be the DCU Batman, and until Pattinson is not in the DCU, I guess those rumors and whatnot can persist, and you can't argue one way or another because nothing is concrete just yet. And special shout out to channel members Jordan Saylor and the Hotness McAwesome. But everybody wants to know who in the world is going to be the DCU's Batman. Pattinson or not, who will be the actor portraying the Caped Crusader? Because this isn't going to be a one-off. This isn't going to be a trilogy. This is going to be at least a decade worth of stories with this actor in the role. Is crucial. This is big casting. And the fact that everybody, every time James Gunn goes somewhere, everybody wants to know who is going to be Batman. When are we going to get our first glimpse of Batman and who is going to play Batman? In fact, the behind the scenes of the making of Superman, David Corenswet, as Superman, says, I want to be in the Batman movie. I want to be, everybody wants a piece of Batman. Because everybody does. This is just it. Probably, Spider-Man and Batman, probably the two most popular superheroes on the planet today. But has James Gunn tipped his hat as to who will be portraying the Dark Knight in his cinematic universe? We got to go over to Threads and see what he had to say about an actor who auditioned for him already. And over on Threads, James Gunn released this image, a new stack of storyboards ready for the crew Monday morning, hashtag MOT Man of Tomorrow. Right below, Real Anarchy says, Bruce says, there's a mermaid. There's a merman. And we have this picture of this actor right here. His name is Tom Brittney. And James Gunn says, that guy is a great effing actor, to which there are 20 comments, 164 likes, and just one retweet or whatever the heck you call it on Threads. That you do. And it is Tom Brittney, who auditioned to portray the Man of Steel for Superman Don't Say a Legacy a few years ago. So James Gunn is familiar with the workings of Tom Brittney, probably knows him in some capacity as well. And based on his answer here, a lot of fans, a lot of online speculation is stating that Tom Brittney could be the man to portray the Caped Crusader in the DCU. And it's not a bad choice. And actually, I've done several videos on this in the past, not on Tom Brittney, but on actors portraying the DCU Batman or just the DCU Batman in general. And I've gotten a lot of comments saying that Brittney should be the Caped Crusader. A lot of people would love to see him in this role. And now James Gunn is saying he's a terrific actor, and you put two and two together. I still don't think that he's going to be your Batman. I don't think, based on this quote from James Gunn, he's going to be our Batman, I should say, because there's still too much undecided pieces to the Batman puzzle for the DCU. James Gunn has also continued to say that they still haven't quite figured it out. They kind of have an idea, but they're still working on the script. Now, Batman has been fast-tracked. Batman, Wonder Woman, James Gunn said months ago that they're not going to worry about the B, D, E, F list tier characters for the movies. They're going to focus on the A tiers, which is your Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and of course Clayface is right up there as well. But they're going to focus on those. Those are like the actors they're going to, or the characters they're going to focus on. Batman, of course, being the prime character. This is one that they need to get. They need Wonder Woman and they need Batman, but they have to get it right. You can't have your first Batman movie be a dud. It has to be great. The other conflict in all this is Matt Reeves' Batman. It can't be too similar to Matt Reeves' Batman, which I don't think it would be. I think the tones are going to be very different, but it can't be similar. It can't have the same villains. It's got to feel different, and it also probably shouldn't release in the same year. Now, I know James Gunn said, only diehard fans really concern themselves with too many Batman running around. A casual viewer wouldn't really think about it, and I think he was right in what he said about that. But one thing he didn't bring up is fatigue. And superhero fatigue is a phrase that gets thrown around like crazy. James Gunn says, I don't believe in superhero fatigue. I believe in quality, and there's too much quality with the quantity that we're getting. I also kind of believe that, but I also do believe that there's superhero fatigue. We saw it in the numbers this year. Critics are saying Thunderbolts is good. Critics are saying Superman is good. And they did, well, Superman did better, but they did okay in the theater, but they didn't do what they used to do. There is superhero fatigue, whether they want to admit it or not. There's also streaming service ruts or whatever that is causing issues for theatrical films. They're not making the money there because of streaming. But I mean, in 2 months, or a month, less than a month, whatever, we're going to see Avatar come out. And it's probably going to do crazy numbers. So where's the argument with streaming when it comes to Avatar versus Superman and things like that? But for me, I think that is a realistic concern. Is like you would have Batman fatigue. Can you imagine I would love 2 Batman movies in a year, like very different Batman movies. But audiences, are they going to be like, well, I just saw one Batman. Do I want to see another one? I know people who saw the Batman Part 1 and said, there's been too many Batmans. I just can't take it. I think Spider-Man was really dangerously close to that as well. And the MCU, the fact that he was implanted into the MCU is really what saved another reboot of Spider-Man. I think if it just would have been another generic reboot of Spider-Man, I think people would have been like, I don't know. And even that Spider-Man Homecoming did well, but I think it made, what, like 600 million, just over 600 million, if I'm not mistaken. No, it did 880 million. So I was off by only 200, almost 300 million. But still, I guess that's pretty good numbers, I guess. I mean, I do think you run the risk of too many Batman, but you want to get the right actor in there. And I think while Brittney might be the right choice, I don't think they've started casting this role yet. I think we would have started hearing a little bit more noise towards this. And I think they're going to look at every actor imaginable. Everybody wants to play Batman, so they're going to see everybody. But I don't be surprised if it's someone, I mean, Brittney's up there. I think Brittney Corenswet, I think they're probably the same tier of actor of household names where they're not necessarily household names. Corenswet might be a little bit more so now, but still not there. I think I think somebody like that is a smarter play for Batman. We just coming off of Ben Affleck Batman, who I love Ben Affleck Batman, but maybe you go with an up-and-comer, someone whose name hasn't quite hit the mainstream yet, and you get someone that you can put in and sign on for 10 years of their lives making these movies, who want to be a part of this for 10 years, who love Batman, who want to bring respect and honor to the role. And if Brittney's the guy, then Brittney's the guy. But I think James Gunn really respects him. He saw him for Superman, and we know throughout the Superman casting process, James Gunn kept saying they saw so many wonderful Lois Lanes, and there were some other actors for Superman, but really it was a chemistry between the two that put them over the edge. I wonder where Brittney was on his list. I know there was someone that was very close. There was also an actor he thought would be great for Superman and just wasn't great for Superman, and he got concerned that he wouldn't find one, which I think it was the first casting that they did. So I think it's going to be the same process for Batman. James Gunn pretty much said that it's going to be the same process for casting Batman in the DCU. And look, these are all fun, and James Gunn, he talks a lot online, and he's honest online. I think that's probably a flaw sometimes, is that he's too honest, and now people are going to run with this and be like, I think we found our Batman, and I don't think necessarily we found our Batman. I think genuinely this is a candidate for Batman, but I don't think he is Batman. Could be Batman, but as of right now, just another actor, just another headshot on James Gunn's desk, which he's probably not. I mean, he's ramping up Man of Tomorrow, so they're going to be working on this Batman stuff for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if this Batman script isn't ready until they're already in production, like are on shooting Man of Tomorrow, I should say. When they're in production, when they're shooting it, then maybe the Batman script is ready to go, and sometime next summer, casting may begin on Batman for a 2028 release of The Dark Knight. I can't see it coming any earlier than 2028. I've heard some people say 2030. Which is a long ways away. You're looking at 4 years, probably 4.5 if it's summer of 2030. Do they want to wait that long for their Batman? That's a long time. That's 3 years after Man of Tomorrow, right? Like that's still, I mean, that's a long time. I think you want to go maybe a year, maybe even 2, maybe 2029, 2030 seems like a long way away. Tom Brittney could be a good choice for the Batman. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You like him there? You don't like him? Who would you like to see as the DCU's Batman? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.